Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Lauren Ricks.
And I'm Hannah Bolick. This is the week of February 29th through March 6th.
March 2nd is Dr. Seuss's birthday and we will highlight him in this week's show.
That's right. We have a special feature on him, and at the end of our show, we have a fun Dr. Seuss morning show game.
Today's show also first airs on Leap Day. We have a special segment that will tell us everything we need to know about this special once every 4 years day.
And in our riveting Bell Ringer series from the C-SPAN classroom, we learn about the life and presidency of our country's 25th president, William McKinley.
It is going to be another educational and thrilling show, but first, let's check in with our news anchor, Louis Bajard. He is standing by with your school news headlines. Good morning, Louis.
Good morning, Lauren and Hannah, and welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. Topping the headlines this week, New Hanover County Schools facility needs survey released, Holly Shelter 6th graders get fit, and New Hanover High School holds an elective showcase. I will have all the stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Louis. We get things going today with a staple here on the morning show with a segment we call This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Jacob Treemstra, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of February 29th through March 6th. February 29th, 1960, the city of Agadir in Morocco is reduced to ruins by an earthquake on this day. Nearly 3/4 of the city was destroyed and 12,000 people were killed. Uninjured survivors filled the roads leading out of the city the next day. March 1st, 1692, the Salem witch hunt begins in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba, an Indian slave, are charged with the illegal practice of witchcraft. Tituba, possibly under coercion, confessed to the crime. Authorities then began to seek out more Salem witches. March 2nd, 1904, Theodore Geisel, better known to the world as Dr. Seuss, is born in Springfield, Massachusetts. He is the author and illustrator of such beloved children's books as The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham. He wrote 48 books that sold well over 200 million copies in multiple languages. March 3rd, 1875, indoor ice hockey makes its public debut in Montreal, Quebec. After weeks of training at the Victoria skating rink with his friends, Montreal resident James Creighton advertised the first game. Prior to the move indoors, ice hockey was a casual outdoor game with no set dimensions for the ice and no rules regarding the number of players per side. March 4th, 1933. At the height of the Depression, Franklin Delano Roosevelt is inaugurated as the 32nd president. In his famous inaugural address, Roosevelt outlined his New Deal, an expansion of the federal government as an instrument of employment opportunity and welfare. And he told Americans that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. March 5th, 1770. Civilians and soldiers clashed in the Boston Massacre as a mob of angry begins tossing snowballs and rocks at British soldiers guarding the customs house. British reinforcements arrived and ended up firing on the crowd. 5 colonists were killed and are now sometimes regarded as the first fatalities of the American Revolution. March 6, 1899. The Imperial Patent Office in Berlin registers aspirin on behalf of the German pharmaceutical company Friedrich Bayer & Company. Now the most common drug in household medicine cabinets, it was originally made from a chemical found in the bark of willow trees. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Jacob Treemstra. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
We have plenty more of the morning show ahead, including the Zoo Files and our enlightening segment, Science Nation.
Don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Plant a tree for your tomorrow.
In your hands, you have the power to change our world. You can improve the environment, help your community, and build a better tomorrow. You can plant a tree.
I can make a difference.
The Arbor Day Foundation can show you how to make a difference too.
Taste the breezes, life inside you. Make a promise to the earth.
You can plant and care for trees, help your community forestry program, and support Tree City USA, where you live.
And meet some great people too. We did this together.
Be a force for change. Get involved. Plant trees.
This is something positive I can do.
For more information, write the National Arbor Day Foundation.
Plant a tree, trees for America. Plant a tree today for all the world to share.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Lauren Ricks.
And I'm Hannah Bolick.
Dr. Seuss is one of the most well-known and most read children's authors of all time. No matter your age, Dr. Seuss books still have the power to spur imagination and lift spirits.
He is so connected to reading that the National Education Association has deemed his birthday, March 2nd, Read Across America Day.
This day is designed to celebrate reading with the goals of motivating children and teens to read and develop reading resources.
During his life, Dr. Seuss published 46 children's books along with many other accomplishments.
To learn a little more about this extraordinary man, we have a special morning show segment. Enjoy.
Dr. Seuss is one of the most beloved children's writers of all time. His stories are still read to many toddlers to help them fall asleep and to help them learn to read. Many of us may not know a lot about this beloved writer, but there was a lot of interesting facts about the man known as Dr. Seuss. First thing to know is that his full name is Theodore Seuss Geisel. Another interesting fact about the doctor is that Dr. Seuss isn't his only pseudonym. He also went by names such as Theo Leseg, Rosetta Stone, and Theophrastus Seuss. Seuss could be described as an odd man. He had very strange habits and responses to certain situations. While he had no actual children, he did have imaginary children whom he would brag about whenever others bragged about their own child. A question he was asked often is, "Where do your ideas come from?" He was asked this question so constantly that he came up with a story involving a small town in the mountains of Switzerland. Dr. Seuss published 46 children's books, many of which were adapted into television specials, movies, and plays. Seuss helped develop many common writing styles, such as putting political sub-themes in children's books, and even is credited with inventing the word nerd. He was said to love both cats and hats, having donated money to the San Diego Wild Animal Park to build a tiger swimming pool, and having owned well over 100 hats. Both are said to contribute to the Cat in the Hat book. Another odd story about the motivation for writing was for Green Eggs and Ham. Many of Seuss's books have very few words. Green Eggs and Ham was written on a bet that Seuss couldn't write a book using only 50 unique words. Seuss wrote 60 children's books during his life, but not all of his books were successful. His first book, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, had to be rewritten 27 times before it was published. Children's books weren't Seuss's only creations. He created ads for multiple products and magazines, including Life and Vanity Fair. Seuss wrote many political cartoons for a New York newspaper, and even helped make films for the military during World War II. He first began using the pseudonym Seuss in 1927 in an article written for the Saturday Evening Post. Seuss's most famous work, outside of his children's books, were his ads for an insecticide called Flip. Dr. Seuss is among the most well-known authors, and his artistic pieces can be found in museums alongside the works of Picasso and Rembrandt. He has won dozens of awards, including the Pulitzer Prize, Emmy Awards, a Peabody Award, a Hollywood Star of Fame, and even an honorary degree from Dartmouth University. He will forever be a writer who helps exhausted parents and inexhaustible children sit together peacefully.
We hope you enjoyed all that excellent information on Dr. Seuss.
It's time for our first block of news. Let's send it over to Louis Behar, who has several great stories to report. Good morning, Louis.
Good morning, and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Louis Behar. Topping our newscast this week is the announcement of New Hanover County Schools facility needs over the next 10 years. With a complete report on those needs is YSN reporter Marley Hughes.
Starting in 1988 with the passage of a North Carolina general statute, local boards of education have been required to submit long-range plans for meeting school facility needs to the State Board of Education every 5 years. New Hanover County Schools has identified facility needs that total $406.8 million in a recent facility needs survey. Some of those needs include new elementary school for River Lights development, new CTE high school at CFCC North Campus, replacement of Pine Valley and William Elementary schools, renovations to New Hanover High School, Brogdon Hall and Memorial Building, new middle school at Sidbury Road Complex, convert Trask into 9th grade center for Laney High School.
The needs survey is a snapshot in time of our facility needs and the estimated costs. It does not include inflation at this point in time, but just what we need based on the construction costs today. It's a 10-year look.
The survey breaks down the costs into 5-year increments. Years 0 to 5 cost summary is approximately $169 million for the district's most pressing needs. Years 6 to 10 cost summary is $237.7 million and includes the state's estimated population projections. The facility needs survey was certified by both New Hanover County Board of Education and by the New Hanover County Board of Commissioners. The facility needs survey is a planning tool and the basis for future building projects. New Hanover County Schools' entire facility needs survey is available online at www.nhcs.net. Reporting for Your School News, this is Marley Hughes.
Fourth graders at Bradley Creek enjoyed a field trip to Raleigh. The students began their trip with a visit to the governor's mansion to learn about the executive branch and NC history. Afterwards, the students learned how the legislative branch makes laws through a mock debate. Students were given a rare opportunity to see some of the hidden items that make up the incredible fossil collection at the NC Museum of Natural Sciences. Students were also given a sneak preview of one of the most significant Pliocene finds in the history of North Carolina. This collection, which dates 2 to 5 million years ago, was donated to the museum by Anne Landberry, physical education teacher at Bradley Creek. In addition to reviewing these hidden treasures, students saw how the artifacts are collected, cataloged, preserved, cared for, and displayed. Have you heard that kids need to break a sweat? In fact, students should be doing at least 60 minutes of vigorous or moderate intensity physical activity every day. To help them get into the right frame of mind, Holly Shelter Middle School partnered with a local fitness club to introduce students to various workout plans. With a complete report is YSN reporter Bobby Blue.
Kids are here today. We really wanted to give them a real-world exposure to adult health and fitness. A friend of mine, Paul, just opened up a new facility. We thought it was a great opportunity to expose the kids to a full life, a real life boot camp that adults go through.
Reports have shown that physical activity improves a student's fitness, lowers their risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes, and helps build strong bones and muscles. Students who are more active have greater attention spans, better academic performance, and a better outlook on life. The Holly Shelter Middle School students who got to visit Fit Body Boot Camp did push-ups, jumping jacks, high kicks, and more.
It's more of a kids workout, just using their own body weight. They're still young and still growing, so, as far as putting them through strength training and stuff like that.
Keeping middle school students active is a challenge these days. Statistics show that as students age, it becomes more of a challenge to keep them moving and active. Things like increasing demands of school, a feeling that they aren't good at sports, a lack of active role models, and busy working families are just a few of the reasons cited. Yet with all these barriers, students still want to stay active and get healthy.
Because I'm just here to get better and probably help out my body in the future and get a healthier body.
I want to get a more healthier body. Even though I play softball, I like getting a healthier body and being stronger.
For their first outing on the road to introducing students to the world of physical fitness, Holly Shelter chose 6th graders to participate. Fit Body Boot Camp even closed their doors to regular business to accommodate these youngsters in training.
He gave us 4 separate days so that we could expose all the 6th graders to health and fitness here out in the community.
We encouraged and inspired them to keep working out at least 60 minutes a day. Most kids are playing on their games every day, so if we can inspire some of the kids just to go out and play every day, that's my ultimate goal.
Reporting for Your School News, this is Bobby Blue.
For all the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 191. For Your School News, a complete half hour on all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our host.
Thanks, Lewis. In addition to watching Your School News and the morning show, you can see many of NHCS TV's programming online.
Just go to the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo right there on the front page.
You can watch great programs there like the Sports Roundtable, Diversity Matters, and You Talk, which features our knowledgeable panel of middle school students.
It's an excellent way to watch our programming whenever you want.
Shifting gears now, we have everyone's favorite segment from the North Carolina Zoo at Asheboro. The Zoo Files tells us all about the different animals, exhibits, and happenings at the zoo.
In today's Zoo Files report, Rod Hackney explains how the North Carolina Zoo is using the latest technology to help save a very popular zoo animal.
Episode of the Zoo Files, we showed how a team of German scientists brought the latest technology in reproductive biology to determine the breeding viability of southern white rhinos here at the North Carolina Zoo. Today we continue the story as Zoo Senior Veterinarian Dr. Ryan DeVoe explains how the German team used the latest techniques in artificial insemination to increase the potential for breeding rhinos here in Asheboro.
During the Germans' first visit to our facility, they evaluated all the rhinos that we hold for the reproductive capabilities, and what we found is that our bull rhino that we hold is not a good breeder. So that led us to pursue other avenues for achieving pregnancies in our animals. So samples were collected from bull rhinos at other facilities and brought in to impregnate our rhinos here. We actually identified 2 bulls who were good matches for our particular animals. The procedures went beautifully, the animals came through it great, they're all doing fine now, and we'll probably have a decent idea about whether or not any pregnancies have occurred in 60 to 90 days. Captive reproduction of white rhinos in North America is exceedingly important if this is a species that we want to continue to see in zoos.
Despite the recent technological advances, artificial insemination for exotic animals is still in its infant stages, yet it provides the best hope for some captive species such as rhinos. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website at nczoo.org. Reporting for the Zoo Files, I'm Rod Hackney, connecting your life to wildlife.
The North Carolina Zoo near Asheboro is open year-round. For information, call 1-800-488-0444 or visit the zoo website at www.nczoo.org.
That was another excellent edition of the Zoo Files. Thank you, Rod.
From zoo news to science news, we are thrilled to bring you the National Science Foundation's online magazine, Science Nation.
In this feature, they examine the breakthroughs and the possibilities for new discoveries about our planet, our universe, and ourselves.
Each week, Science Nation takes a dynamic, entertaining look at the research and the researchers that will change our lives.
Well, it works.
Did you ever wonder who designed this flying dragon, making the wings look just right to soar? It takes more than artistic talent to create an animation like this from scratch. At every twist and turn, there's science involved.
I rehearsed this shot by spinning in my chair.
How am I gonna? I just need to. Every hop and skip requires an intuitive feel for physics.
It's not natural for a leg to bend this way. Anatomy is a topic that doctors study, but so do artists. Now with animation, physics has become another science which is essential to the craft of these artists.
Physicist Alejandro Garcia is an advisor to animators at DreamWorks, helping them make dragons fly right and explosions look real.
When something doesn't feel like it's physically capable of happening, it pops the audience out of the moment. It reminds the audience that what they're watching isn't real. You know, oh, I'm watching a cartoon. And that can really be damaging to the story.
This shot right here wouldn't work out in the real world.
So Garcia helps them create believable yet wacky worlds of their own.
Each movie, each film animation that we do has its own world of physics. Megamind's world wasn't necessarily our world.
If you have the character just moving side to side, then the stuff in the foreground is going to be moving much faster.
And with support from the National Science Foundation, Garcia has developed a course at San Jose State University on the physics of animation. The idea is to teach animators in training how to make it all look plausible.
And you can stretch the rules, but you can never break the rules.
Do you have to remember, the smaller the object, the harder the shadows?
Learning these lessons could give these fledgling animators a leg up on the competition when they start vying for jobs in the lucrative movie, TV, and gaming industry.
It's a very highly skilled industry, and not every school is teaching it in the way that will set them up to succeed at a place like this.
Yes, I did it! Imagine what they will create with a little physics under their wings. For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.
That segment of Science Nation shows us that even artists need math.
You see, everything you learn in school can come together in the future.
Yep, it pays to pay attention.
That it does.
Now, as we head to break, we have the word of the week. Each week, we highlight an advanced English word, so when you use them in a sentence, you can impress even educated speakers.
If you like having an extensive and impressive vocabulary, try learning our word of the week.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
This is Lands and People, your passport to the world.
The Commonwealth of Australia is located in the southern hemisphere between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Australia's capital is Canberra, and the country's three major languages are English, Aboriginal languages, and Chinese. Industries include mining, food processing, and steel production. Australia is also the only continent occupied solely by one nation.
This has been Lands and People, your passport to the world.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank. to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to the morning show. We now have a brand new segment of Food Facts. In this feature, specialists from the New Hanover County Schools Child Nutrition Office join us with important information for living healthy and happy lives. March is National Nutrition Month, and Deanna Teeter tells us about this year's theme and how it relates to improving your food choices.
Nutrition is a topic that we should think about every day. Being healthy and eating foods that are good for our body should be important to us, and we should think about this whenever we are eating snacks during the day or a meal with our family. March is an especially a good time to think about nutrition because March is National Nutrition Month. Every year, National Nutrition Month has a theme. This year's theme is Savor the Flavor of Eating Right. This theme wants to encourage everyone to take the time to enjoy their food and appreciate the experiences that come with it. When we eat, we are usually with friends and family. We might be attending birthday parties, family reunions, special holiday events, or just hanging out. Whatever the event or occasion, food is usually involved. During these times, as with regular meal times, we should be thinking about the choices we are making about our foods and choosing things that are good for us. The theme Savor the Flavor of Eating Right encourages us to make these healthy choices and to appreciate the flavors of the good, healthy foods. In today's busy, hectic world, we might be in a hurry to get to the next activity, or we might feel that there is simply not enough time in the day to enjoy our food. This may cause us to choose unhealthy foods, which may not be the best for us. We often do not think about what we are eating and just simply eat to eat. Instead of eating quickly, try to slow down and eat slowly. Take one bite at a time and focus on what you are eating. This will help you to enjoy your food and to focus on the different flavors and textures that go along with eating. And it can also help you to choose healthy choices. Not only will eating slowly help you to enjoy your food, but it could help you to eat less. When you eat slow, it gives your stomach time to tell your brain that you are full. In addition to these tips, also try thinking about when and where you are eating. Most of the time, we might be busily eating at our desk or eating dinner in front of the TV. Instead of that, try taking the time to find a nice place to eat. Sit down at the table with your family and eat a nice meal together. Relax and be mindful about where you're eating and what you're eating. Using these steps can help everyone make healthy choices and think about what they are eating. For more information on National Nutrition Month, you can visit www.nationalnutritionmonth.org. Savoring the flavor of our foods can help you to eat healthier and help you to relax and really enjoy when you're eating, where you're eating, and who you are eating with. And remember, savor the flavor of eating right. I'm Deanna Teeter, and this message has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools Child Nutrition.
Thank you, Ms. Teeter. Be sure to savor the flavor all month long as you celebrate National Nutrition Month.
And on that note, here is this week's lunch menu so you can see what nutritious and delicious meals will be prepared for you at your school. This is the menu for Monday, February 29th through Monday, March 7th. On Monday, February 29th, leap to the lunch line on Leap Day for a chicken Parmesan sandwich, a beef taco with Spanish rice, or a chicken cheesesteak. Round the meal out with barbecue pinto beans in a frozen fruit cup.
Then, on Tuesday, March 1st, embark on a delicious journey by treating yourself with either a great grilled chicken sandwich, a grand grilled cheese sandwich, or a classic cheeseburger. Keep the good stuff coming as you pile on vegetable soup, roasted potatoes, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, March 2nd, get your grub on with chicken dippers with an egg roll and fried rice, the cheesiest of cheesy breadsticks, or pork barbecue with hush puppies and slaw. Either way, be sure to add positively positive pasta salad sweet potato waffle fries, and mandarin oranges.
On Thursday, March 3rd, you won't want to miss out on lunch as your cafeteria will be serving nachos grande, fantastic fish nuggets or popcorn chicken with a choice of a cornbread muffin or a dinner roll. No matter which entree you choose, you can add black bean and corn salad, North Carolina sweet potatoes, and fresh fruit to your plate.
Then, on Friday, March 4th, end the week on a high note and chow down on spaghetti with a breadstick, a cheeseburger, or a deluxe chicken sandwich. Accompany your meal with magnificent macaroni salad, flavorful French fries, and marvelous mixed fruit.
Finally, on Monday, March 7th, you won't want to miss out on lunch as your cafeteria will be serving a chicken filet sandwich, lasagna roll-up with a breadstick, or corn dog nuggets. Complement your entree with wonderful sides of black-eyed peas and diced peaches.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week. In addition to those items, milk, a garden salad, French bread pizza, and a peanut butter and jelly combo will be available daily.
So many delicious choices. Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school. Bell Ringers is our next segment this morning, and it's from the C-SPAN classroom. This series features a biography of each of our country's presidents. Beginning with our first show of the school year, we started with our first president, George Washington. Each week, we feature the next president until we've covered them all and bring the series to a close next summer. Enjoy learning about the people who have led our country in this riveting series. Here's this week's episode of Bell Ringers.
Late 1890s was a land of high spirits and high drama. It was the age of ragtime and robber barons, of newspaper empires and Alaskan gold. Leading the country into the new century was William McKinley. The last Union soldier to serve in the White House, McKinley also knew war as president, presiding over a 100-day conflict that fueled the country's rising sense of nationalism and helped establish America as a player in the emerging new order of global politics.
I have never been in doubt since I was old enough to think intelligently that I would someday be president.
Like 4 presidents before him, McKinley was born in Ohio, where he grew up the son of an ironmaker. He briefly attended Allegheny College in Pennsylvania, but illness and subsequent financial difficulties forced him to drop out before graduation. When he was 18, he volunteered to serve in the Civil War, making a name for himself the following year at Antietam, where as a commissary sergeant, he delivered meat and coffee to troops at the front. The act won him a promotion and a reputation for bravery. After the war, he studied law, joining the Ohio Bar in 1867. That same year, at a picnic, he met Ida Saxton, the daughter of a local banker. The couple married in 1871 and went on to have 2 daughters. Both children died at early ages, however, and their loss hastened Mrs. McKinley's physical decline. In time, she would develop epilepsy. A devoted husband, McKinley took care to look after his wife, especially once he began his political career. As Ohio governor, he'd stand in an office window every day at 3 and wave toward her facing hotel room. And later, after he was president, he broke with tradition by insisting she be seated beside him at state dinners. His kindly nature, combined with a remarkable memory for names and faces, served him well in politics, helping him advance from the House of Representatives, where he served for over a decade, to the Ohio State Capitol, where he was elected to 2 terms as governor. An ardent advocate of the protective tariff, McKinley soon became known for his ability to win over foes with a disarming comment or gesture. Such savvy also helped win him the attention of wealthy Cleveland businessman Mark Hanna, whose backing helped McKinley defeat William Jennings Bryan in the election of 1896. But once in office, McKinley had his share of detractors. Anxious to avoid war with Spain over its occupation of Cuba, he was criticized by a hawkish press and called weak by some members of his own administration. He eventually called for intervention in April of 1898, initiating a conflict that lasted only 4 months, but which won the United States control over Cuba, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. After the war, McKinley's administration continued to center on foreign policy. Having already annexed Hawaii, he went on to push for an open-door policy with China, and also led a bitter conflict against Filipinos unhappy with American rule. Such affairs also dominated the election of 1900, which cast the victorious McKinley and running mate Theodore Roosevelt as devout expansionists. 6 months into his second term, McKinley traveled to Buffalo to speak at an international fair known as the Pan American Exposition. Greeting guests in a receiving line on the exposition grounds, he was shot twice by an unemployed anarchist named Leon Czolgosz. By some accounts, McKinley had just leaned down to give a small girl a carnation he'd removed from his buttonhole. He died 8 days later on September 14, 1901.
Where our artisans have the capacity to excel, where our inventive genius has initiated many grand discoveries, and where the resources of our land are limitless, it is our province to lead in the march of human progress and not rest content with any secondary place. William McKinley.
As we head into a break, we continue our focus on our wonderful country with a challenging series of bumpers.
The United States has a rich, interesting history and a unique system of government. Knowing about our country is a very important part of being a good citizen.
Take our quick civics quiz and see what you know, or perhaps it will help you learn more about U.S. history and government.
Welcome. I understand you need a little help with your mortgage. Want to avoid foreclosure. Smart move. Candy? Well, you know, you're in luck. We're experts in this sort of thing. Mortgage, rigmarole, whatnot.
Really?
Absolutely. And we guarantee results, you know, for a small fee, of course. Such are the benefits of having a professional on your side. Why don't we get a contract? Who wants a contract?
Here you go, Pete.
Thanks, Betty.
Write a toner.
Sign it. Come on, sign it. Families around the country every single day, saving homes.
We will talk it over with.
If you're facing foreclosure, make sure you're talking to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
What state am I?
Over 80% of my state are covered by forest. The purple finch is my state bird. My nickname is the Granite State. Do you know who I am? If you've guessed New Hampshire, you're right. I received statehood in 1788.
This United States factoid has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Welcome back to The Morning Show. I'm Hannah Bullock. Our show began airing on Monday, February 29th, Leap Day.
Most of us know a leap year occurs every 4 years, but do we know why? To fill us full of leap year knowledge, we have this special video.
Jump for joy, it's leap year. A year with 366 days instead of the usual 365. Leap year happens every 4 years, and it plays an important part in keeping our calendar and seasons in line. It was the ancient Egyptians who figured out that the solar year and the man-made calendar year didn't always match up. That's because it actually takes the Earth a little longer than a year to travel around the sun. 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 46 seconds to be exact. As those extra hours accumulate each year, more days had to be added onto the calendar. The calendar used to be a little more complex and confusing than it is today. That was until 45 BC, when Julius Caesar ordered his astronomers to simplify things. The ancient Romans were the first ones to officially announce February 29th as leap day through a mathematical formula that is still used today. However, there was one added stipulation to the 4-year cycle to help keep things in line. No year divisible by 100 would have a leap year, except if that year was divisible by 400. Thus, 1900 was not a leap year, but 2000 was. Following this pattern will keep us in tune with the seasons over the next several thousand years. Having an extra day only once in 4 years makes leap year a special day across the world. In China, Taiwan, and Italy, leap day was known to bring bad fortune, and children born on this day were believed to be harder to bring up. In Greece, marrying on leap day is considered bad luck and will bring misfortune to the family. In Scotland's past, leap day was one day where women could propose to men, and if the man refused to marry, then he must pay a fine of a kiss, a silk dress, and a pair of gloves. In addition, Scottish farmers believe that leap day will bring a bad harvest season. In Russia, it is believed that leap day brings all sorts of weird and strange weather patterns. And in Anthony, Texas, USA, the locals set up a leap year festival, calling themselves the leap year capital of the world. Leap year babies, or leaplings as they're called, come from all over to attend the festival. The official symbol of February 29th is a frog, since frogs can leap. However, Australians will argue that the Australian rocket frog is the official symbol of February 29th. The Australian rocket frog can jump over 2 yards. For centuries, astrologers believe children born on leap day have unusual talents, unique personalities, and even special powers. Another thing that most leaplings say for fun is that they are 4 years old when they are really 16. Leap year babies typically choose February 28th or March 1st to celebrate their birthdays in years that aren't leap years. The most famous leap year story is between St. Patrick and St. Bridget. As the story goes, the tradition of women romantically pursuing men in leap years begins with them in 5th century Ireland. It says that St. Bridget complained to St. Patrick about women having to wait for men to propose. After continually voicing her concerns, St. Patrick finally relented and set February 29th aside as the day allowing women the right to ask for a man's hand in marriage. Those were some of the wonderful and interesting facts about leap year. To end things off here, we have a special leap year poem by Mother Goose. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, save February, she alone hath 8 days and a score, till leap year gives her 1 day more.
That was a lot of great information on leap year. We hope you enjoyed it.
It's time for more Your School News, so let's send it back over to our news anchor, Louis Behar.
Thank you, Lauren and Hannah, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on The Morning Show. New Hanover High School held its 3rd annual CTE Elective Showcase. This event was designed to give rising 9th graders a chance to review and understand the wide number of electives offered at New Hanover High School. With a complete report on the event is YSN reporter Stephen Thornton.
The days of limited elective offerings have long ended. Although home economics and auto shop are still electives in some schools, most schools have diversified from their course offerings, giving students plenty of choices to choose from. To help middle school students heading for New Hanover High School prepare, the Career and Technical Education Department has held an elective showcase. Students from the visiting middle school spent 30 minutes exploring the wide range of elective classes they can take.
At these booths, they get an opportunity to interact one-on-one with the students that are in those programs. And through that, the students can give them information about the curriculum that's taught and the activities that they do in each class on a daily basis.
The showcase featured many of the newer and cooler electives now being offered to high school students. These electives are no ordinary electives. These are the kind that will make any student jump out of bed every morning and look forward to school. They included digital media, apparel design, culinary arts, and numerous offerings in computer application.
And it was really cool because I got to see like an inside scoop on what would happen when I go to high school, and it was really helpful.
Today I learned about so many business that I didn't even know about, like what it actually was and what you did, and more information about it.
An important message at the event was the purpose behind North Carolina's CTE classes and how they help empower all students to be successful citizens, workers, and leaders in a global economy.
Students benefit from this elective showcase by being able to see and talk to students firsthand about what they've learned in the courses, what direction they plan to go after they finish high school. Also, the many options that it opens for the students, as well as personal options, as well as educational benefits.
Students from Williston, Holly Shelter, Virgo, and Noble attended New Hanover School's CTE showcase. It was an exciting time as these future 9th graders look ahead to the start of their high school years. Reporting for Your School News, this is Stephen Thornton.
In an unanimous vote at its regular meeting on February 15th, the New Hanover County Board of Commissioners voted to support the concept of developing a career technical education high school that would serve New Hanover and Pender County school students. The idea is to build a new facility on land at Cape Fear Community College North Campus. According to New Hanover County Schools Superintendent Tim Markley, who made a presentation at the Commissioners meeting.
CTE is what a lot of folks would have called vocational education when they were growing up. And so we want to create a CTE high school in partnership with Cape Fear Community College that would allow our students to do their vocational training at the community college. And so what will happen is a student will graduate with a high school diploma and then also graduate with some kind of career credential from the community college. And it's a good partnering of resources. They've got the vocational teachers able to teach those certification programs. So you could walk out of high school job ready.
The CTE high school will be developed by the school district in partnership with CFCC, and the high school would share the college's vocational labs. Sharing facilities will make it possible to build a new high school for less than the $60 million a typical freestanding high school would cost. Ashley High School hosted a technical college fair. The fair, which was held in honor of Career and Technical Education Month and was organized by Ashley Student Services, Media and Center, and Career and Technical Education departments. The fair was an opportunity for students to get information and ask questions about a variety of degree programs. Representatives from Cape Fear Community College, Miller Mock College, and College of Wilmington were there. One of the real popular representatives at the year's fair was NASCAR Technical Institute. The NASCAR Technical Institute, an exclusive educational provider for NASCAR and the only campus in the country to offer this exclusive training. College fairs are unique opportunities for students to meet college admissions people face to face and begin the process of showing colleges your demonstrated interest. They are especially useful if you don't have the time or resource to personally visit colleges. Not all colleges in the U.S. are represented at these fairs, but students have a chance to connect with some that might have interests. That's all for now. To watch this week's edition of Your School News online, visit the school system website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo on the home page. You can also friend NHCS TV on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Now back over to Lauren and Hannah.
Thanks, Lewis. Okay, it's time now for our thrilling morning show game featuring the works of Dr. Seuss.
I'm excited. Dr. Seuss books are great.
They are indeed. Let's send it back over to Lewis, who will explain how the game is played.
Our game today is simple. I'll read the opening line of a Dr. Seuss book, and you'll have to tell me the name of the book. If there is a word in the opening line that will give away the title, I will say blank instead of the word. You will each have a list of the Dr. Seuss books to aid you. If you think you know the answer, you must buzz. The first person to buzz gets the answer. If you blurt out an answer without buzzing or winning the buzz, it will not count. Also, if you buzz before I finish reading the line, you will have to answer it. I will not read the rest. Finally, if you are both stumped on one, I will give the answer and we will move on. Okay, contestants, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So the first one, big A, little a, what begins with A?
Dr. Seuss's ABC.
It is. All right, next question. Can you push the, yeah. Every Who down in Whoville like Christmas a lot. Do you know?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
It is. All right, third one. The sun did not shine. It was too wet to play. So we sat in the house.
The Cat in the Hat.
That is The Cat in the Hat. All right, next one. On the faraway island of Salama Sound, blank was the king of the pond.
Yertle the Turtle and Other Stories.
You're the turtle it is. All right.
Jeez.
Next question. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see.
And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street.
Yeah, it is. Next question. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when blank heard a small noise.
Horton Hears a Who.
It is Horton Hears a Who. All right. Next question. Young man, laughed the farmer. Oh, you're sort of a fool. You'll never catch fish and blank. Yes.
McElligot's Pool.
It is the Elegant's Pool.
I didn't see that one.
All right. That Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that.
Green Eggs and Ham.
It is Green Eggs and Ham. All right. At the end of the town where the grinkle grass grows and the wind smells.
The Lorax.
It is the Lorax. Oh, congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away.
Great day for Up.
It is not.
Oh.
You want to buzz in, Hannah? Or you're still?
No, just tell me the answer.
It's all the places you'll go.
Oh my goodness, I knew that.
Okay.
All right. It's a pretty good blank, said young Gerald McGrew, and the fellow who runs it seems proud of it too.
Is it the Sneetches and Other Stories?
No, it's not.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's a pretty good blank, said young Gerald McGrew, and the fellow who runs it seems proud of it too.
Okay, If I Ran the Zoo.
It is If I Ran the Zoo. I wish we could do that. I wish we could do what they do at Catrue. They sure know how to say blank. If you want me to say it again, I'll say it again.
Please repeat.
All right. Yeah. I wish we could do what they do in Catrue. They sure know how to say blank.
I have no.
If Mr. Brown can moo, can you?
It's not actually.
I tried to look for the right rhyming word.
Is it Bartholomew and the Oobleck?
It's not. It's Happy Birthday to You.
No. Okay.
All right, next question. Now the star belly blank had believed with stars. The plain belly.
Who was that?
Oh, that's a good question. Unplug it and plug it back in really quick. Okay. Here, let me say the question again, and we'll buzz it in. Now the star belly.
The Sneetches and Other Stories?
Yes, the Sneetches.
Is that on?
Okay. Are you guys ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right. Up, pup, pup is up.
It's a great day for Up.
It is. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, not that. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I got you overexcited. Do you want to steal it?
Hop on Pop.
It is Hop on Pop. All right, next question. Side Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored, and I've nicks in my leg from sitting here day after day.
Is that Horton hatches the egg?
It is Horton hatches the egg. All right, next question. Did you ever have the feelings there's a wasket in your basket? Lauren?
Walk it in my pocket.
It is walking in a pocket. In my pocket. Next question. The news just came in from the county of Keck that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck is yawning so wide you can look down his neck.
Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. Is that Fox and Socks?
It's not.
I don't think I'm going to know what it is.
You want to give it up on that?
You go.
Or you
want
to guess?
Go ahead. Just tell us what it is.
It's Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book.
Oh.
I didn't even see that one. Oh, there it is.
Now the last question. Up at the Lake Winnebago, the far northern shore, lives a huge herd of moose, about 60 or more. Yes, Lauren?
Mr. Brown can moo, can you?
Wait, I'm sorry, say it again?
Mr. Brown can moo, can you?
It's not. It's Didwick, the big-hearted moose.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
That is all the questions I have. The winner today is Lauren. Congratulations, you're the master of Dr. Seuss books.
Well, that was fun. Good game, Hannah.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Good game.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Morning Show.
Please friend us on Facebook. Just search for the New Hanover County Schools TV page.
And follow us on Twitter for all the latest and most up-to-date announcements at NHCS TV.
Remember, for the best TV at all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for the New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.